So you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You chase your dreams just as hard as anyone I know. Like, I mean, you're Emily Gray. Follow Instagram. She's always hustling, always out doing something. And so much of chasing your dreams, like as you chase your dreams, you're helping other people fulfill their dreams.
I'm just very privileged in that I don't share many stories that other women share from corporate experience or entrepreneurship. My corporate days, I worked for a Swiss investment bank, I worked with all dudes, I was in the women's program, and I cannot even name, I don't even think one bad experience.
Which is amazing, right?
And I realized like that is not the story I hear around, but I also think these stories need to exist, so I like speaking truth into that. They more than gave me a seat at the table. In meetings, they would say, my boss, who was like beyond a million levels above me, would say, Emily, I'd like to hear your insight on that. This sounds dramatic to say put his career on the line, so it wasn't that dramatic, but there were so many times when I could see them trying, and that's truly why I enjoyed it. And were they perfect? No. But am I? No. The first thing is to know it's so uncomfortable to ask and for me to even be asked to say something, but I'll do it on behalf of other women. I've been interrupted a lot when I've shared things I've seen or noticed. Let me just keep rambling and let me be done. And then when you do ask a question, you can say something along the lines of, I am so afraid of offending you, and I probably will, and know that I'm trying to bring my best to this table in this conversation, but I will fail you, so in advance I'm gonna ask for your grace, and you don't have to offer it to me. That approach to a conversation. I think the second is not turning your back on anger. It'll be so uncomfortable for you, but anger always, there's a reason for it. And then I would say the biggest thing is like lean in and don't ghost. I have evidence to support that I'll get ghosted, and I won't be invited back to that table. And yes, I know a lot of women talk about, well, make your own table, bring your own chair, but in all actuality, until the day I die, the power and authority around the majority of tables will be held by men, and the opposite of ghosting is inviting back. So my friend Britt Barron, she fits into every diversity category you could think of, and she's also a pastor out in Pasadena, California, and so that brought in the faith component to me of the wrestling of, okay, I want to live a life like Jesus, but I'm really confused as to how I can do that well, and I don't want to screw this up. And so she laid out this visual of a classroom. And she said, okay, pretend this is the classroom of America, and you walk in, where would you put yourself in the class? So, I was like, okay, well, I'd probably be on the second row as a middle-class white female who has a college education, right, if we're talking America. And she said, here's the rule. In the classroom, everyone at the back of the classroom, anyone who's in front of them, they can understand a very great deal about the people's life experiences and what they go through that's in front of them. But unless you turn around in your seat, you do not and cannot understand the experience of people behind you. And she said, people are getting angry, and you personally feel uncomfortable, Emily, because people from behind you are throwing paper airplanes. And it's starting to hit in your back because they're begging you to turn around and listen to them. But in our nation right now, especially, we are linking arms with people in our row, and we're putting on what we are claiming is the armor of God. And that's not the Jesus I know. The Jesus I know came to break down power structures. And so I think we need to redefine what the armor of God is and not link arms and just open our hands and hearts and turn around and listen well.
Because at the end of the day, that's what we're called to do, right? And the people who have more privilege, instead of feeling guilty about the privilege, we can use our privilege to break down power structures for those who don't have it. So ultimately, we all rise together. Yep. And we all have equal footing. Jesus is head, and we're the body. He's the hero, and we're able to serve him and each other in the process. We're obviously dealing with very light topics right now. So this is what we want to do. We want to have honest conversations where we all listen and we all learn. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, just take one or two nuggets and say, wait a minute, how do I lean into that and begin to have conversations with key people so we can advance who we are as humans and create more love and more forgiveness and more space for us all to thrive and flourish. So tell us, where can people find you?
Yes, theflourishmarket.com is where our sparkly corner of the internet, where you can use your purchasing power for good. So the Flourish Market, we're a women's and gifts boutique. That's where you're online. In person, we're in downtown Raleigh. Come on down to the Warehouse District.
Best city in America.
Come on down to Raleigh. On Instagram, you can find us at The Flourish Market.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Emily. Emily and the Flourish Market community have been significant supporters of Help One Now, and they've taught us so much and how to do work better, and we get a chance to do life together here in Raleigh in our community. And then we're thankful for what you're doing here in Raleigh, but across the world, and for Help One Now. So thank you for hanging out with us today. And
thanks for tuning in, you guys.
yeah, phenomenal. Thank you, Emily.